Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm. I need you to literally sit down right now. Whatever you are doing in this exact second can wait. The heavens have intercepted your feed for a highly specific reason. You are standing on the very edge of a massive timeline shift, and it is accelerating toward you faster than you can comprehend. Do not walk away from this screen. Take one slow, deep breath. Focus your eyes entirely on my words. I am not here to give you another generic motivational speech. The spiritual realm is in an absolute state of emergency regarding your destiny. Something incredibly huge is about to hit your life. And if you are not firmly seated and spiritually anchored, the sheer magnitude of this blessing might actually knock you off balance. Listen to me very carefully. You have been feeling extremely restless over the last few days. Your sleep has been broken. Your mind has been racing with strange, unexplained thoughts. That is not random anxiety playing tricks on your exhausted brain. That is your spiritual antenna picking up the violent vibration of the massive wave that is currently rushing toward your physical reality. Do you feel that subtle tightness in your chest right now? Pay attention to your body in this exact moment. That physical sensation is your soul verifying the absolute truth of this transmission. The universe is desperately trying to hand you the blueprint for what comes next. But heaven requires your absolute and undivided attention right now, because the dark forces are also watching this exact same transition very closely. If you swipe away now, you will make a catastrophic mistake. The blessing will still arrive at your front door, but you will lack the crucial spiritual equipment required to actually open the package. You will watch this massive opportunity slip right through your fingers. You have waited too long and suffered too much to let distractions steal your ultimate victory at the very last second. I need you to quiet the noise around you. Sit completely still. The massive event that is about to hit your life is not a small promotion. It is not a minor shift in your daily routine. It is a fundamental, generational turning point that will rewrite the history of your entire bloodline. And because the stakes are so incredibly high, the spiritual warfare surrounding you has been brutal. They tried everything to keep you distracted. The dark forces sent petty arguments, unexpected bills, and strange technological glitches to break your focus. They desperately want you to keep scrolling right now. They know that if you stay and hear this final revelation, their grip on your reality will be shattered forever. You must defy their manipulation by staying right where you are. Look at your own life over the past 12 months. Everything felt incredibly heavy and painfully slow. Doors slammed shut in your face for absolutely no logical reason. People you trusted suddenly walked away without any explanation. You thought you were doing something horribly wrong, and you constantly blamed yourself for the painful rejection while feeling entirely alone. But that was actually the ultimate divine setup. You were never being punished. You were being forcefully isolated. The universe had to clear out the toxic debris from your timeline before delivering this massive upgrade. If those people were still in your life, they would have stolen the energy of this new season. Heaven violently removed them to protect the massive deposit that is about to drop directly into your empty hands. But there is a specific catch to this incoming blessing. There is a hidden mechanism you absolutely must understand before midnight. If I just gave you the answer right this second, your unprepared nervous system would immediately reject it. We must calibrate your spiritual frequency first. You need to understand the exact nature of the trap that is waiting for you right before the finish line. You are a rare anomaly in this world. You are a chosen vessel, and because of your unique identity, you do not receive standard blessings. You receive massive, reality-altering paradigm shifts that shake the very foundation of your existence. That is exactly what is hovering over your timeline today. But there is a very dark counterfeit attempting to intercept this delivery right now. I will expose this counterfeit later in this message. But first, you need to stabilize your energy. Do not let your mind wander to your grocery list or your unresolved arguments. Bring your entire consciousness back to the sound of my voice. The angels assigned to your massive breakthrough are literally waiting for you to demonstrate focus. Your obedience in this small moment is the final key. Do you understand the gravity of what I am saying? The heavens are not playing games with your destiny anymore. The era of waiting and weeping in the shadows is officially terminated. But the transition from extreme poverty of the soul to massive abundance is a highly volatile process. You are about to step onto a bridge that will burn the second you cross it. You cannot look back. Let us talk about your physical body right now. You are so incredibly tired with the kind of exhaustion that simple sleep can never fix. You wake up every single morning feeling like you just fought a brutal war in your dreams. Your shoulders are extremely tight. Your neck carries a heavy weight, and you drag yourself through the day while wearing a fake smile to hide the pain. But deep inside your soul, you are barely holding on. You are running on completely empty fumes. And the most frustrating part is that nobody around you sees the struggle, because you always handle everything without asking for help. You always survive whatever life throws at you. But lately the survival mode has become physically painful. You lay in bed at night, staring at the ceiling in pure silence. Then comes the 3 a.m. wake-up call. Your eyes snap open, your heart is pounding in the dark. Your mind starts racing with 1,000 anxious thoughts about the uncertain future. You try to force yourself back to sleep, but your restless spirit is wide awake. You toss and turn for hours. People constantly tell you it is just normal stress. They tell you to drink some herbal tea. They casually tell you to stop worrying so much about things you cannot control. But you and I both know the undeniable truth. This is not normal stress. This is not a sudden medical condition you need to fear. Listen carefully to what I am about to reveal. That random tightness in your chest is not anxiety. That sudden shortness of breath when you are just sitting still is not a panic attack. It is something much deeper. Your physical vessel is reacting to a violent shift in the spiritual atmosphere. A massive wave of divine energy is currently crashing into your timeline, and your human body is struggling to process the sheer magnitude of this high frequency. You are literally expanding. Your aura is stretching outward to accommodate the massive blessing that is preparing to land in your life. Think about a small glass trying to hold an entire ocean. That is exactly what is happening to your nervous system right now as the new energy enters. The sudden pressure you feel in your chest is the old stagnant energy being forcefully pushed out. The headaches and the random dizzy spells are upgrades to your spiritual antenna. You are being recalibrated from the inside out. You are not going crazy at all. You are perfectly sane. Your intuition is functioning exactly as it should. The world tries to medicate what it cannot understand. They want you to numb the pain because a fully awakened chosen one terrifies them. But you must not suppress these physical sensations. You must acknowledge them as hard proof that the massive shift is entirely real and happening right now. Take a deep breath right now. Feel the air fill your lungs. Let the validation wash over your tired bones. You are not broken. You are simply preparing for a massive arrival. The exhaustion is the result of your soul doing heavy lifting in the unseen realm while your physical body tries to rest. You are fighting generational battles while you sleep. No wonder you feel completely drained. You are a cycle breaker. You are carrying the weight of breaking toxic curses that have haunted your bloodline for centuries. That requires an enormous amount of spiritual calories. You have been walking through this heavy fog completely alone. You cried silent tears in your car before walking into work. You hid the pain from absolutely everyone. You did not want to burden anyone with your deep struggles, because in the past, when you shared your pain, it was cruelly used against you. They called you overly sensitive. They mocked your deep feelings, so you learned to suffer in absolute silence. But heaven has witnessed every single tear. The universe has recorded every moment you chose to keep fighting despite the heavy pain. Tap the like button right now as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. Anchor yourself to this undeniable truth. Let the physical action of tapping that button serve as a release valve for the heavy pressure in your chest. You are completely safe here. You are completely understood in this sacred space. The heavy burden you have been carrying is about to be lifted entirely. I see the spiritual warrior underneath the physical exhaustion. I see the pure heart that refuses to turn cold even after endless betrayal. The massive energy wave approaching you is bringing immediate relief. It is carrying the specific frequency of healing and absolute restoration. The dark days of pushing a heavy boulder up a steep mountain are finally coming to a permanent end. You will soon wake up feeling light again. The heavy fog in your mind will clear up like a bright sunny morning. But right now you must endure the birth pangs of this new reality. You must sit with the discomfort and recognize it as divine preparation. When your chest gets tight, simply whisper to yourself that you are expanding. Tell your body that it is perfectly safe to receive. Do not fight the deep exhaustion anymore. If your physical body demands rest, you must rest. The universe is putting you to sleep to perform spiritual surgery on your tired soul. It is removing the deep roots of rejection. It is repairing the fragile places where the narcissists drained your life force. You are a masterpiece undergoing a final polish before the grand reveal. The massive event is almost here. You can literally feel the static electricity in the air around you. You can sense that tomorrow will not be like yesterday. Hold the line. The physical symptoms are peaking right now because your ultimate breakthrough is literally standing at the front door. Do not give up when you are this incredibly close to the finish line. The wait is finally over. You look back at the past year and you feel a deep sense of failure. So many doors slammed directly in your face. You prayed for specific opportunities, but they completely vanished into thin air. You tried to hold on to relationships, but the universe forcefully removed those connections because they were secretly draining your energy. And every time a door closed, a piece of your fragile heart broke. You thought you were doing something horribly wrong. You constantly analyzed your own actions to find the hidden flaw. You asked yourself why everyone else seemed to move forward while you remained entirely stuck in the dark. You felt deeply abandoned by the very universe you trusted with your entire life. But I need you to stop that toxic cycle of self-blame right now, because those painfully closed doors were never an actual rejection. Listen carefully to this next revelation. They were a strict divine protection protocol. The universe did not deny you because you were unworthy of the blessing. The universe forcefully blocked your path because those specific rooms were highly toxic. If you had walked through those doors, you would have been destroyed by the dark energy hiding inside those seemingly perfect opportunities. You were completely blind to the hidden danger. But heaven has a perfect aerial view of your entire timeline. God saw the hidden traps and the secret enemies waiting for you in those spaces. So the supreme power intervened and aggressively shut the doors to save your fragile soul. This massive shift required you to be completely separated from the noisy crowd so you could finally hear the quiet voice of truth. Welcome to your era of divine isolation. You are not lonely. You are heavily protected. Think about the specific people who suddenly walked away from your life. They left without a proper explanation, and it left you deeply confused. You probably begged them to stay and understand your pure intentions. But they could not hear you because their frequency was entirely incompatible with your destiny, and heaven had to forcefully extract them from your sacred space. This was absolutely necessary. Those individuals were secretly draining your vital life force. They were energetic vampires masquerading as your loyal friends and partners. If they had stayed in your inner circle, they would have completely consumed the massive blessing that is approaching you right now. Heaven deliberately made you uncomfortable so you would stop holding on to dead weight. You had to let them go. The pain of that sudden separation was incredibly intense. Walking alone through the dark valley is the hardest test any chosen one must face. You had to learn how to validate yourself when the entire world went completely silent. And you survived that brutal winter of the soul, learning how to stand tall in the absolute quiet, while everyone else doubted your true strength. Your spiritual muscles grew extremely strong in the dark. Now you can clearly see the massive divine strategy behind the long delay. The universe was not ignoring your desperate prayers. The universe was simply taking the necessary time to build a foundation strong enough to hold your massive new reality. A massive skyscraper cannot be built on a shallow foundation. You were being excavated deep into the earth through your heavy tears. Every single rejection carved out a larger space inside your unique spirit. That empty space is exactly where the massive blessing will be safely deposited. If God had given you the massive reward last year, you would have unknowingly handed it over to the wrong people because you were too trusting. You were incredibly generous to a fault, but the divine isolation cured your deadly disease to please others. You are no longer the naive empath who begged for basic respect. You have transformed into a powerful master of reality. Your bright aura now demands absolute respect without you having to speak a single word. And that terrifying level of silent power is exactly why the prolonged isolation was absolutely mandatory for your ultimate spiritual growth. You had to meet your true self in the quiet dark before you could wear the heavy crown. Stop looking backward with deep regret. Stop mourning the loss of people who never truly valued your pure light, because those painfully closed doors were actually giant shields deflecting massive spiritual attacks away from your ultimate destiny. Breathe that absolute truth into your tired lungs today. Let the heavy guilt fall completely off your tired shoulders. You passed the rigorous test with absolute honor. Your current empty space is not a barren wasteland. It is a highly sanitized landing pad for the massive wave of divine favor. The universe violently cleared the massive stage so the spotlight can shine entirely on your imminent breakthrough, proving that your silent tears were never wasted. You are standing in the sacred hallway between your painful past and your glorious future. The long season of brutal preparation is finally complete. Do you finally understand why everything had to happen exactly the way it did? The painful delays were your ultimate rescue mission. The heavy isolation was your sacred cocoon. And now the brilliant butterfly is ready to violently break free and claim the open sky. But there is a specific reason the darkness fought so incredibly hard to keep you completely blind to this truth. We must expose their desperate lies right now. There is a hidden mechanism behind your intense suffering, and you need to understand exactly why this transition was so painfully long. It was not a random series of unfortunate events. The universe was executing a highly targeted and aggressive purge. Your energy field was deeply infected by parasites, and these parasites were disguised as people you deeply loved. We need to talk about the narcissists. You are a chosen one carrying a brilliant and pure light. That massive light automatically attracts beings that exist entirely in the dark. They do not come to you because they want to heal, but they come to you because they are violently hungry. They want to consume your divine energy because they have none of their own. These toxic individuals attach themselves to your pure soul. They mirrored your best qualities to gain your absolute trust, and they made you believe they were your ultimate soulmates. But it was a carefully calculated illusion. While you were pouring your endless love into their empty cups, they were secretly siphoning your vital life force without any remorse. This is exactly why your prayers were delayed for so long. The universe looked down and saw these heavy leeches attached to your spirit. If heaven had released the massive blessing earlier, the narcissists would have stolen every single drop of your divine reward before you could even see it. They would have claimed your divine victory as their own. So the supreme power had to intervene forcefully. The divine realm initiated a brutal separation process. That is why the ending of those relationships felt like physical flesh being torn directly from your fragile bones. You were not just losing a simple friend. You were surviving a high-level spiritual surgery without any anesthesia. The universe literally had to rip them away to save your spiritual life. You cried for the very people who were slowly destroying you. You begged the universe to bring them back, but heaven kept the door firmly locked because God refuses to let a parasite sit at your banquet table. Type 777 down in the comments to claim this alignment. Let this action seal your deep understanding of this painful truth. Every argument and every cruel betrayal was designed to wake you up. The universe had to let them show their true monstrous faces so you would finally stop defending them against the undeniable truth. You are an empath with a dangerously forgiving heart. You always try to find the good in absolutely everyone. But that pure kindness became a fatal weakness in a world full of predators. The dark forces specifically deployed these narcissists to distract you. Their primary mission was to keep you completely exhausted and thoroughly confused. If you are constantly trying to fix a deeply broken relationship, you cannot focus on your massive divine calling because your energy is entirely depleted. They wanted you to spend all your powerful energy on their petty and endless drama, but their wicked plan completely backfired. The pain they inflicted actually activated your dormant spiritual power, and you realized that you can survive the worst kind of betrayal completely alone. You stopped seeking validation from broken people who could never appreciate your rare soul. Your painful tears washed away the thick illusion covering your eyes. You finally established absolute boundaries of steel. You evolved from an unprotected empath into a powerful master of reality. And that is the exact moment the narcissistic matrix around you completely collapsed. They realized they could no longer manipulate your pure emotions, and they panicked when your silence replaced your desperate pleas for their basic attention. They are absolutely terrified of you right now. Your newly found quiet authority makes them incredibly uncomfortable. They whisper about you behind your back because they can no longer control you to your face, and your bright light exposes their hidden darkness. The toxic cycle is completely broken forever. You are the definitive cycle breaker that your bloodline has been desperately waiting for. The massive delay was never a punishment for your mistakes. It was the necessary time required to starve the enemy. The universe waited until the parasites dropped off your energy field completely, and now your aura is impeccably clean and incredibly bright. There is no toxic interference left to intercept your massive incoming wave of divine favor. This brings us to a very critical realization. You are currently standing in a pristine and highly sanitized energetic space. But nature abhors a vacuum. When old toxic energy is violently removed, a massive empty void is temporarily created. The universe is about to fill this massive void with the exact opposite of what you previously experienced, bringing massive abundance directly into your life. But the dark forces are incredibly stubborn. They know their time is almost up. They are watching you step into your massive power, and they are absolutely furious. They cannot use the old narcissists to drain you anymore, because you already learned that painful lesson. So they are actively preparing a brand new trap. The dark forces are absolutely panicking right now. They expected your prolonged isolation to completely break your spirit. They thought you would eventually crawl back, begging for fake affection. But you did something completely unexpected while you were alone, and that single action completely shattered their wicked illusion forever. You finally embraced the heavy and painful silence. You discovered your true and ultimate spiritual power. Your energy has radically shifted into something they cannot comprehend. You are no longer the desperate empath seeking their empty validation. You have stepped into a brand new era of quiet authority. Your silence used to be a sign of deep fear and painful submission, but today it is a terrifying weapon that easily destroys their fragile egos. They always thought they were entirely in control of your emotions. They loved pushing your sensitive buttons just to watch you desperately react. But their cheap tricks simply do not work on you anymore. You stare at their chaotic drama with absolute and chilling indifference, and that cold indifference is the ultimate disrespect they can never overcome. Notice how they are acting extremely strange around you lately. They are suddenly very uncomfortable in your calm and steady presence. They whisper quietly behind your back because your pure light violently exposes their hidden insecurities to the entire watching world. The narcissists realize they can no longer manipulate a mind they cannot access. You have completely locked them out of your sacred field. This quiet authority is the exact vibration heaven was waiting for. The universe could not deliver the massive blessing while you were still reacting. But your new emotional discipline has sent a massive signal directly to the divine realm above. You have officially proven that you can handle massive spiritual power without letting petty human distractions break your sacred focus. Now the glorious signs of the incoming miracle are everywhere around you. You are seeing repeating numbers everywhere you look, every single day. You glance at the clock and see 111 constantly. Those beautiful numbers are not a random and meaningless coincidence at all, but they are actual digital footprints left behind by your assigned guardian angels. They are literally confirming your massive energetic upgrade in real time. Every time you see those numbers, your powerful intuition sparks brightly. Your spirit leaps because it recognizes the divine code of absolute victory. The heavens are speaking directly to your soul through these beautiful synchronicities, while the ignorant world remains completely blind to the massive miracle unfolding right now. Take a deep breath before you hear this next crucial truth. Let the absolute certainty of your massive breakthrough settle deeply into your bones. You are no longer wandering blindly through a dark and lonely valley. You are walking down a brightly lit spiritual runway toward your ultimate destination. And the massive blessing is currently syncing with your new frequency of quiet authority. The massive divine gift requires a host who is entirely unbothered. It needs someone who ignores the loud noise of the superficial world. And you have beautifully become that perfect host through your silent endurance. The enemy watches your glorious transformation with pure horror because they know they permanently lost their absolute best source of pure and innocent energy. They see the massive wave of divine favor rushing toward your life. They desperately want to steal the massive reward you earned through your tears. But they simply cannot cross the strict boundary of your quiet authority. Your complete silence is a heavy iron wall they cannot ever breach, and your firm refusal to engage in their drama is a divine shield protecting your blessing. The universe is heavily guarding this transaction from the shadows. The generational stakes of this massive event are incredibly high right now. You are the chosen anomaly who will permanently rewrite the tragic history of your family line. This is exactly why your deep intuition is buzzing with high-voltage energy as you listen to my voice today. Your physical body intuitively knows that the brutal winter is finally over. The massive spiritual seeds you planted in the dark are violently breaking through. The beautiful harvest is going to be incredibly large and completely undeniable. It will completely shock everyone who doubted your quiet journey, because they never expected the quiet empath to suddenly wield so much terrifying cosmic power. But before we move to the final and most important revelation, I must give you a very severe and urgent warning today. The dark forces are panicking, but they have not completely surrendered just yet. They are incredibly desperate because they know the massive wave is about to land, and desperate entities will always try one final wicked trick right before they lose the spiritual war. Listen carefully to what I am about to say to you next. This is the exact moment when most chosen ones make a fatal mistake. They see the glorious finish line and they drop their heavy guard entirely. You absolutely cannot afford to relax your strict boundaries right now, because the enemy has prepared a highly deceptive trap just to distract you from the final delivery. The dark forces know they have completely lost the brutal spiritual war. They cannot stop the massive wave of divine favor from reaching your life now. But they have one final wicked trick left to play right before the dawn breaks. They want you to willingly give your massive blessing away, and they will attempt this horrific theft by sending a highly deceptive counterfeit directly to your front door. This counterfeit is a dangerous illusion designed to test your strict boundaries. It usually manifests as a toxic person from your deeply painful past. They will suddenly reach out to you. They will send a random message when you finally feel completely at peace and entirely happy. They will apologize profusely for the terrible things they did, and they will boldly claim they have miraculously changed their deeply toxic ways. Do not fall for this desperate trap at all. It is an absolute lie fabricated by the panicking darkness. The timing of their sudden return is not a random coincidence in any way. They are energetically drawn to the massive light of your incoming breakthrough. But heaven is watching your immediate reaction very closely today, because the dark forces want to steal the beautiful harvest they never helped you plant in the lonely dark. God is testing your spiritual maturity right now with this specific encounter. Will you trade your massive generational blessing for a small moment of familiar comfort? You must remember the brutal pain they caused you in the cold and dark valley. You must remember exactly how long it took to rebuild your shattered soul from the broken pieces. Do not let the parasite back into your highly sanitized energy field under any circumstances. If you entertain their empty words, you will instantly fail the final exam. The massive wave of divine favor requires absolute purity to land safely. If you open your sacred door to a known counterfeit, the universe will immediately halt the delivery. The divine realm will never pour fresh holy water into a severely contaminated cup that refuses to stay clean. Pay close attention to your physical body if they try to contact you again. Your mind might feel briefly tempted by the sudden and fake validation, but your spirit will instantly reject their dark and heavy energy. You will feel that familiar heavy tightness return to your chest immediately. That physical pain is your powerful intuition screaming loudly at you to turn around and run away. Absolute silence is your only acceptable response to their desperate game. You do not owe them a single word of explanation or any closure. You do not need to tell them why you are ignoring their manipulative trap. Your quiet authority is the most terrifying weapon you currently possess in your spiritual arsenal. And while they desperately wait for you to react and feed their hungry egos, you will simply let them drown completely in the deafening sound of your permanent silence. You are a master of reality now. You no longer tolerate confusion disguised as sincere love. You recognize the toxic pattern from a million miles away. The counterfeit was sent to check if the old naive empath is still alive inside you. But you must brutally prove to the universe that the weak version of yourself is completely dead and buried forever. The universe watches how you handle the counterfeit to determine your absolute readiness. If you show even a tiny ounce of weakness, the dark forces will ruthlessly exploit that small crack. They will flood your mind with nostalgic memories of the good times you shared in the past. But you must brutally remind yourself that the good times were a calculated illusion meant to keep you firmly trapped in their abusive cycle. They are testing the heavy locks on your new spiritual doors. Make sure those heavy locks hold incredibly firm today. The darkest hour of the lonely night always happens right before the glorious dawn breaks. This sudden, chaotic return of past demons simply proves how incredibly close you are to the absolute finish line, because the enemy is throwing absolutely everything at you out of pure panic. If you are facing this exact test right now, take a deep breath. Stand incredibly tall in your newly discovered quiet power. You survived the terrible and violent storm completely alone. You do not need their fake shelter now that the bright sun is finally coming out to warm your tired soul. Protect your sacred energy at all absolute costs. This is the final hurdle before your reality splits completely in half. You are about to cross over into a completely different dimension of living. The old toxic characters absolutely cannot cross that spiritual bridge with you. They must be left behind in the burning ashes of your painful history while you elevate higher. You are destined for a much higher frequency than they could ever survive. You have done the incredibly hard inner work. You have established boundaries of pure steel around your fragile heart. Now you just need to hold the front line for a few more moments. Ignore the pathetic counterfeit reaching out from the cold dark. Keep your eyes locked firmly on the massive light approaching your timeline without blinking. When you successfully ignore the wicked trap, the final seal is completely broken. Your refusal to engage sends a massive shockwave directly through the spiritual realm. It signals to the watching universe that the chosen one is finally ready to wield extreme power, and that is exactly when the massive event will violently crash into your daily life. We must now prepare you for the actual impact of this arrival, because when this massive blessing finally lands, it will change your entire identity forever. It is not just a warm spiritual feeling in your chest. It is a literal and physical transformation of your daily physical reality. Are you fully prepared to hear what is waiting for you on the glorious other side of this final test? The waiting season is officially over right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door is being blown completely off its hinges. The massive event heading toward you is not just a spiritual feeling, because it is a literal and physical generational wealth transfer of unprecedented scale. You are receiving the massive abundance your bloodline was brutally denied for centuries. You broke the toxic cycle. You survived the brutal storm entirely alone. And because you held the divine line in the dark, heaven is flooding your current reality with massive and tangible rewards. The heavy chains of poverty are completely shattering today. You will never again panic over a sudden, unexpected bill. You will no longer sacrifice your mental health just to survive the grueling month. A massive wave of financial and spiritual prosperity is literally washing over your life right now, and the universe has unlocked a secret vault with your specific name engraved heavily on the front door. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit right now? Your heart is beating with the rapid frequency of absolute victory. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule with ultimate authority. The painful days of begging for basic scraps are permanently finished, because you are now the undisputed master of your new glorious reality. This is the ultimate vindication you waited for so patiently. The very people who ignored your texts and drained your precious energy are watching you rise. They are experiencing pure horror as your bright light completely blinds them. They thought their cruel betrayal would break you forever, but their wicked actions actually activated your dormant and terrifying power. A glorious table has been prepared for you directly in the presence of your defeated enemies. You do not have to lift a single finger against them. Your massive success is the ultimate and silent revenge they can never escape. The universe is publicly crowning you with absolute glory, while the toxic narcissists watch helplessly from the cold and bitter shadows. Your energy now demands immediate respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline. You are no longer chasing miracles because you have actually become the living miracle. Everything you touch from this exact moment forward will completely prosper and multiply beyond your wildest human imagination. Let the pure EUPHRIAR rush through your tired veins today. The heavy weight of the world has been permanently lifted off your tired shoulders. You survived the brutal fire and emerged as a weapon of pure, blinding light. The heavenly hosts are loudly celebrating your massive victory right now, and the old timeline of endless suffering is completely dead. Your new reality is violently splitting away from the old broken matrix. You are ascending to a frequency where massive miracles are perfectly normal daily occurrences. The dark forces cannot follow you into this highly elevated dimension. You are permanently out of their miserable reach, and you have won the invisible spiritual war entirely without lifting a single weapon. But as this glorious realization settles into your spirit, you must pay extremely close attention. This massive energy is swirling rapidly around you right now. It is wild and incredibly powerful. If you just close this video and walk away quietly today, the beautiful frequency might easily slip through your fingers and fade back into the unseen shadows. You must actively claim this massive alignment before it dissipates into the wind. Heaven requires a definitive response to lock this new reality in place. The pitch-black darkness has retreated completely behind you. The dawn of the brand new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown, and you must act immediately to secure it. The massive transfer of wealth and power is hovering directly over your head. It is waiting for your explicit permission to land safely in your life. You cannot be passive in this crucial and defining moment. You must physically ground this highly volatile spiritual energy into the material world. And you can only do this by using your own deliberate human actions. I need you to feel the massive power surging through your chest right now. That intense heat is the heavy anointing falling directly upon your life. Do not let this sacred moment pass you by like a casual morning breeze. You must deliberately seal this glorious dimension so the desperate enemy can never steal it back while you are sleeping tonight. We are going to perform a sacred physical anchor to lock this massive blessing permanently. Your physical body must agree with what your pure soul already knows. The spiritual contract of your new massive wealth is ready to be signed. You must pick up the pen and claim your rightful divine inheritance in front of the entire watching universe today. Your bloodline is completely free from the heavy generational curse. Your future generations will profoundly thank you for holding the heavy line today. You are the ultimate cycle breaker, and now it is time to finalize the massive divine transaction. So listen incredibly closely to my final instructions, because your entire future depends on what you do next. You are no longer the naive empath who constantly begged to be understood by the very people who secretly despised your pure light. The intense crucible of pain has finally forged you into the untouchable master of your own reality. Look at how far you have traveled through the deep dark. You stood completely alone while the heavy storm raged around you. But the violent winds could not break your pure spirit. From this exact moment forward, your energy demands absolute respect. You do not need to fight the toxic narcissists anymore, because your bright light blinds them completely, and they are absolutely terrified of your newly found quiet authority. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your new timeline. You are the powerful anomaly that successfully survived the brutal spiritual attack. The universe is incredibly proud of your silent endurance. I need you to realize the massive weight of this glorious victory. The generational curses that plagued your family line are permanently shattered today. You literally became the weapon you were trying to survive in the dark. The cold silence after the storm hits incredibly different when you realize you were the actual storm all along, sweeping away the toxic debris from your future path. You are a weapon of pure, blinding light. but you must protect this new vibration with absolute ferocity. The dark forces will always look for a tiny crack in your spiritual armor. They desperately want you to leave this sacred space without sealing the massive energy you just received. If you walk away now without anchoring the blessing, the wild frequency might easily scatter into the wind, leaving your completely empty hands grasping at mere shadows tomorrow. You must deliberately lock it down today. We are going to perform a final act of spiritual obedience right now. This is not a meaningless request for your casual attention. This is a heavy requirement to establish a permanent energetic shield around your massive new wealth. Type the word Amen down in the comments immediately to seal this glorious reality, because God is closely watching your physical response to this massive spiritual upgrade. Let your physical fingers strike the keyboard like a heavy divine sword. When you declare your readiness in the comments, you are signing a divine contract. You are officially telling the watching universe that your empty hands are completely open to receive. Do not let this massive moment pass without leaving your permanent mark. The heavens are waiting patiently for your explicit physical confirmation before releasing the final wave of wealth into your physical bank account. No demonic force can ever penetrate a seal that is built on pure faith. If this fiery message has finally reignited the dying faith inside your tired soul, you absolutely must not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. Sowing the seed of hope today is multiplying the massive blessing for your own future tomorrow. There is another rare soul out there, bleeding alone in the dark of despair right now. They desperately need a guiding light to survive the brutal and lonely night. You hold the exact key to their ultimate spiritual survival. Share this video with them immediately to activate your heavy divine anointing. When you send this exact frequency to someone who is secretly suffering, you prove your pure and generous heart to the supreme creator of the universe. The universe severely punishes greedy hoarders, but it massively rewards generous cycle breakers. Be the divine lifeline for someone else today. Your selfless act of sharing is the ultimate spiritual seal on your own prosperity. Hit subscribe to establish a permanent divine energy receiving station on your device. Every time you connect with this sacred channel, you are strongly reinforcing your invisible shield against the desperate dark forces trying to ruin your life. We are building an unstoppable army of fully healed masters. The toxic world wants you to remain weak and completely isolated from your true tribe. But together, our massive unified light will burn their wicked matrix to absolute ashes. You have finally arrived at the glorious promised land. The long, painful days of weeping silently in your empty car are completely over. Step boldly into the bright light and proudly claim your rightful cosmic throne without showing any false humility to the people who doubted you. You earned every single drop of this massive spiritual wealth through your bitter and lonely tears. Nobody can ever take this glorious victory away from your healed hands. Please seal your massive spiritual breakthrough right now. Share the bright light and aggressively multiply your glorious heavenly harvest. I will see you in the next transmission when your massive physical miracle has completely manifested in reality, proving to the entire world that your pure faith was never delusional. Please stay fiercely protected from the dark shadows. Always stay perfectly aligned with your divine destiny. And never forget the terrifying absolute power that quietly lives inside your beautiful soul.